18 months ago, if you'd have asked me what I was investing in, I'd have probably given you a very long answer. Individual stocks, dividend stocks, the S&P 500, some global index funds. And a few of those ideas I was convinced were brilliant, and a few of those ideas I just wasn't quite sure about. But if I'm honest, part of me really enjoyed that. It felt like I was investing properly, whatever properly is, like I was researching, I was learning or trying to learn and trying to make what I thought at the time were intelligent decisions. But recently, I found myself doing something that I never thought that I would do back then, and I'm just simplifying. Now, this video is not financial advice for yourself, and you should do your own research and remember that your capital is at risk when you're making investments. I'm just showing you what I'm doing with my own real money, including the inevitable mistakes along the way, hence why you shouldn't just copy what you see me and people like me do in videos on the internet. The reality is that I've just reached a point where pretty much every pound that I'm investing now since the beginning of 2026 is just going into one single fund. And the strange thing is that the more I've learned about investing, the less complicated I've decided that I want it to be. This feels completely backwards, I know. Surely the more that you learn, the more that you should be doing. You should be buying more different things, finding more opportunities, building more sophisticated strategies. At least that's what I thought in the early days. But instead, I found myself going completely the other way, and to be honest, I think it says quite a lot about what I've learned over the last 18 months more than anything. When I started investing at the beginning of 2025, I was excited, like a guy doing any new hobby, probably a little bit too excited in hindsight. I'd spent years not investing, years telling myself that I'll just start one day, I'll do it later. I'd put money in savings accounts for a few years, and I just convinced myself that I'd get around to learning about investing and compounding eventually when I'm older. So when I finally started, I wanted to learn everything. I wanted to understand individual companies, I wanted to understand index funds, I wanted to understand dividends, valuations of companies. I wanted to understand all of it. And because of that, my portfolio ended up looking a little bit messy. Not disastrous by any means, but just a bit messy. And over the course of that first year, I bought some individual stocks, I bought some index funds, so S&P 500, the FTSE All-World. I bought a few dividend stocks more recently than that. But if I'm being completely honest, I probably put too much money into individual companies. And that wasn't because I had some grand strategy or master plan, it was because I just found them interesting. I liked researching them, I liked following them, I liked seeing whether I was right. And to be fair, some of those investments have done very well. In fact, if I just looked at the performance, so the numbers, I'd probably conclude that I should buy more individual stocks, not fewer. And that's where the conflict starts, because investing, for me at least, isn't just about returns, it's also about how I feel when I own something. And when some of those individual positions have grown and grown significantly, I've noticed something quite big, and that is that I've just become more nervous about it all. Not less nervous. The numbers are green, the gains are real, but every time I look at them, I just find myself thinking the same thing. Those same numbers could be in brackets and down, and me just be feeling a whole lot less happy about the whole thing. Maybe to some people that might sound obvious, because surely every investor knows that stocks can go down as well as up. But knowing something intellectually and feeling it emotionally are very different things. And the bigger that those positions became, the more I realized how dependent I was on a really small number of factors for me to do well. Maybe those stocks will do well, maybe they won't. I honestly, genuinely don't really have any idea, and that's probably the point, right? If there's one thing that I've just become increasingly uncomfortable with over the last couple of years, it's relying on me being right. I don't particularly want my future to depend on whether I've correctly identified the next winning stock. I'd rather build a system where I don't need to be that clever, because I'm not, which is what led me back to this very simple question. What is the job? What's the purpose of my portfolio? Not what is the next most exciting thing I could buy, what might generate the highest return, nothing like that. What is the actual job and the purpose of my portfolio? And the answer I kept coming back to is surprisingly boring, right? The job of my portfolio is to give me options in the future. That's it. That's the entire mission. More flexibility, more freedom, less financial stress, a greater ability to make choices later in life. That's what I'm trying to buy. And when I look at investing through that lens, the answer becomes a whole lot more simple. Because then I'm not asking what could outperform the market, I'm asking what gives me the highest probability of reaching my goal. And for me, that answer is currently the FTSE All-World Index. Not because it's perfect, not because it's guaranteed, certainly not because it's exciting, but simply because it's diversified enough that I can stop worrying about whether I've picked the right companies. The fund owns thousands of companies across the world. I know it's still weighted towards developed markets. I know it's still weighted towards very large companies. And I know it's not perfectly diversified across every possible investment on earth. But at some point, simplicity matters. And I've realized that I value simplicity more than I used to. And that's why my thinking has changed. Not because I've become less interested in investing, but because I've become more interested in staying invested. And there is a difference. When you're new, it's very easy to focus on returns. You compare charts, you compare performance, you might look at your app every single day. You compare what might happen if you bought this instead of that. I've done all of that. I still do it occasionally. Granted, I still am only 18 months into my investing journey, but increasingly I'm asking a different question. What strategy am I most likely to stick with for 20 years? Because ultimately, that's the game I'm trying to play. Not 6 months, not 12 months, 20 plus years, potentially longer, depending on how much money I can earn and invest and how the markets perform. And so if that's the time frame that I'm working to, then behavior probably matters more than the optimization. One thing I've noticed recently is how motivating it's been watching my FTSE All-World holding grow. A while ago it felt small, now it's gone through the £10,000 barrier, which feels pretty good. And I know £10,000 isn't retirement money, but seeing a single holding reach that size genuinely feels meaningful. It feels like progress, and perhaps more importantly, it makes me want to keep going. I think that's something I underestimated when I started. Investing isn't purely mathematical. Motivation matters with this game. Psychology matters with this game. The strategy has to make sense on paper, sure, but it also has to keep you engaged long enough to continue with it. And watching one core holding steadily grow gives me that. It reminds me of why I'm making sacrifices in life to be able to invest. So why I'm driving an old car, which I do quite like, my 272,000 mile, £500 ex-taxi, but why I'm choosing investing over other things in life that I could spend money on. Why I keep putting money into the market every single month, regardless of whether the market is up or down. And I think that is worth something in itself. Which brings me back to the title of this video, why am I only buying one index fund? And the answer isn't because I suddenly think that every other investment is bad. I don't. I still own individual stocks. I still own the S&P 500. I still own dividend stocks and I have no plans to sell them. I will probably buy more individual stocks in future. This isn't some dramatic portfolio overhaul, but it's more just a simple recognition that I found what I want to be the foundation, the backbone, the thing that eventually represents at least 90% of my portfolio. Everything else can just exist around the edges, I guess. So the FTSE All-World is the thing that I want carrying most of the weight. And honestly, that's probably one of the biggest mindset changes I've had since I started investing. When I began, I thought that investing was about finding winners, and now I think that investing is mostly about avoiding losers, but not avoiding individual losing stocks, more about avoiding losing behaviors, losing discipline, losing consistency, or losing focus. Because let's say, for argument's sake, I can keep investing £500 every single month for the next 20 years, well then in that case, the exact fund that I choose will probably matter a lot less than my ability to keep showing up and keep investing. And that's why I've become increasingly more and more comfortable with simplicity. Not because simplicity is exciting, but because simplicity is repeatable. And the funny thing is, if you'd have told me 18 months ago that I'd eventually end up concentrating almost all of my investing into one global index fund, I'd have probably been quite disappointed. I'd have thought that sounded boring. I'd have assumed that I hadn't learned very much. Now I see it completely differently though, because the more that I've learned, the more I've realized that investing isn't really about proving how clever I am. It's about building a system that quietly works in the background while I get on with the rest of my life. And right now, this is the closest that I've come to finding that system. Will I be saying the same thing in 5 years? Maybe, maybe not. That's part of the journey. But today, if you ask me where my next investment is going, the answer is surprisingly simple. The same place it went last month, and hopefully the same place it goes the month after next as well. Sometimes progress isn't about finding something new. Sometimes progress is finally becoming comfortable with what already works. So thank you very much for watching. Please do hit like and subscribe if you'd like to follow along this journey. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.